I chose to follow Jesus when I was a junior in high school, and my best friend was a senior and I was a junior, and I didn't grow up in church, but she'd take me to lunch in her car, and on her radio she would play Christian music, and I'd never really heard any kind of music except just regular music, and so just listening to a cappella and like Michael W. Smith and just different kinds of artists that she played in her car. She never really talked much about it, but I got to a point where I saw her, the peace that she had, when situations happened, and I asked her, how are you so calm? We have a test or something, and she just kind of told me, well, I have Jesus, and he's the leader of my life, and she invited me to church, and I started going, and I started feeling that peace that she talked about. Just kind of having Jesus in your life. It just changes the way that you feel, the way that you live. All that. I started reading the Bible. I couldn't look away. It was like I was like hungry for the Word, and it just became who I was. And after high school, I went in the Army, and in basic training, your only day to have any kind of like extra time or anything is Sunday mornings, and you're supposed to do laundry and clean, and most of the time if you have any extra time, then people slept because there wasn't much sleeping in basic training, and I still chose church over sleep, and so I knew how much that peace meant, to have him as a leader of my life. I still follow Jesus because a lot of stuff in my life, has changed since I decided to follow him. When I said I was in the Army, some things happened that I kind of blamed God for, and it was some negative things, and I turned away, and I just kind of, he wasn't the leader of my life anymore. I was angry at him, and kind of took my own path, and it was the wrong path, and it made a lot of unwise choices, and just kind of drifted further and further away from what I knew, and that was the peace that God had in me. And he doesn't leave us, but he gives us the choice to walk away or to veer off the path, and I definitely did that. In Matthew, it talks about Jesus sitting down to eat with the tax collectors and the sinners, and people asked, why does your teacher eat with tax collectors and sinners? And Jesus answered them and said, it's not the healthy who need a doctor. It's the sick. I've not come to call the righteous, but the sinners. And so through all of my he chose me. He chose me through all of my sin, all of my past, all of my brokenness, and all of my habits and hang-ups and everything that I've ever done wrong. He's there. He invites us to come back. He's standing there with open arms. No matter where we veer from where we're supposed to be, with him, he loves us unconditionally, and just like we love our kids, he loves us that much and even more. And he calls us to be light. He calls us to be the light. That's another scripture that it really means a lot to me, and I choose to follow him because there's a lot of darkness in this world, and we live in a fallen world. But Jesus, his grace is huge. His grace is so big, and we get that opportunity to be the light in darkness, whether that be in our families or our places that we work, our friends, or even strangers. We get that opportunity to just be the light in people's darkness, and I'm so excited to be able to live with Jesus, and be able to just be that light that Jesus wants us to be.